Welcome back to Beards and Brews. Hey, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Not only does it help us out, but you'll know exactly when we've got another one brewing. We're also available on Amazon Music and/or podcast and Audible.com. Search us up, we pop right up. Be sure to follow. This week's movie, it's going to be Smokin' Aces. Gentlemen, I'm going to give you the opportunity to prove to me that this is a real movie. Go.
Okay, there's a dude. He has a bounty for being a shithead. Now a mob boss wants him dead, and hilarity ensues, starring Deadpool and Alicia Keys.
That's pretty damn close.
Is this hilarity? Is that what's ensuing?
I had some good gut laughs, not because it told me a joke, but because someone was trying to read their line.
Now, like I'd seen this movie before. I saw it back in theaters somehow for some reason, and I'll tell you, I remembered very little about it. I remembered that there was some kind of a like heist or something along those lines, and I remember Alicia Keys was in it, and I don't know, she had a gun or something. That's literally all that I remembered, and I guarantee in a month that's literally all I'll remember.
Ooh, I'll give it less than that, maybe a couple days. Because if we're going down memory lane, the only thing that I remember about this is seeing this in high school from a buddy who just thought this was the greatest action movie of all time. Needless to say, we don't talk anymore.
I mean, fair. I remembered whenever we were going, Smokin' Aces. I went, oh shit, oh yeah, I like Smokin' Aces.
Yeah,
But then rewatching it, I went, I guess.
I can't even tell you how many times during watching this I was just like, I guess, to myself. Like, nobody was around because I was struggling to keep up with the movie.
Yeah, man. Like, that was the biggest detractor for me, is how quickly it goes. First of all, there are a ton of characters in this. None of them have names.
Too many.
But there are so many characters, and it goes between so many shots of each of these characters doing their own thing. You can hardly keep up. There's just way too much. And yet there's so little too.
Exactly.
That is so on point. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, we were BSing before the show, talking about how I was having a hard time just keeping track of real time, because this movie, I guess, takes place all in the same day, but like, I completely just like, at one point, time just turned into an opinion.
Yeah, from what I gathered, you've got like the night where, you know, they're doing surveillance on the mob boss or whatever. It doesn't matter. And then the next morning, which is when everything actually starts, is when Jeremy Piven's character, Israel, Ace, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's when he wakes up with all the hookers passed out on his floor or whatever.
And you know, let's just kind of breeze through like the plot in quotations, because Jeremy Piven is like a magician, but he's also like second in command for the mafioso. So like, he's trying to off the big guy so he can take his place, but he's also an undercover Fed. So
is that what
now,
happened?
I think so, right?
Jeremy Piven is not an undercover Fed. The mob boss is an undercover Fed. Jeremy Piven is just a scumbag. And he just looks like a fucking Joe Rogan through this whole thing.
Oh, okay, because towards the end, I felt like I was having a stroke. Because like, fucking, the movie was just like, this, twist. I'm like, stop.
No kidding.
Please.
Like, once we get to the end, it's like there's a twist. Oh, there's a twist to the twist. And did you see there's a third twist? All within like 30 seconds of each other, I feel like.
And you're supposed to be Shyamalan blown away, but you go, you're just adding that. Nothing ever alluded to that. There's no reason for me to piece it together through the film and go, oh, that's very clever. You just threw it on at the end for fucking nothing.
There is one thing. There is one part that I pieced together, and I think that would have been like a final, like a good final quote twist. The idea is like he wanted Jeremy Piven's heart, and it was like I pieced together, oh, that was because he needs to do like a heart replacement surgery because he's old as hell. I pieced that together, but when they revealed it, that was like the third in a row, and I was like, oh, I figured that one out. I thought that was pretty obvious.
But did you know, spoilers, it's his son? Fucking no one cares, dude.
No.
I wonder if the guy who made this movie, he like directed and wrote it. I wonder if he knows that like by the end of it, nobody in the theater was just like, oh my God. They were just like, I'm annoyed.
The words that I have written down at the very end of my notes are in succession, what? And, huh?
I was halfway expecting a Scooby-Doo ending.
We already had it earlier whenever the Scooby-Doo hitman decided that he was going to escape. I know this is later in the film, but whatever. The hitman guy is like, aha, I am Le Chameleon. His whole thing is he makes fucking prosthetic masks and sneaks in and kills you. He's wearing a mask of another person. The cops bust in, arrest him wearing the mask. And he just goes, haha, and escapes, runs into the next room of the same hotel room, lays in the floor, removes the mask, and goes, it's not me, it's not me. And the cops run by him into what I can only assume is the bathroom.
Dude, like I wrote that down. I was like, so. they had cleared this entire suite. He takes off his mask and like hides it under the bed or whatever. And he's like, no, he went that way. He went that way. Who the fuck is this guy then? Where did you come from?
And just like that, Agent 47 just gets away. Another flawless attempt.
47.
Fucking ridiculous.
Well, on that ridiculous note, this movie does start in a van. And we got fucking Ray Liotta and Deadpool just like being buddies, being cops. Yeah. But it's like one of those things where like, it's definitely from the perspective of a 14-year-old writing cops. And they're just like goofing on each other, but it's so weird.
Like, it seems like the kind of relationship where like they're really good friends, but Ray Liotta's also like, hey, smell my fingers. I just fingered my old lady.
Lord. Hilarious, dude. This is a good movie.
But yeah, you're right. The writing is a little bit juvenile here and there, especially when you talk about like the sort of buddies. Like you've got that pair, and then you've got the pair of ladies, like the lady assassins. Taraji P. Henson and Alicia Keys, they're sort of like buddies, but maybe a little bit more than buddies. I'm not really sure.
At least half of them, for sure.
Yes, definitely half. Old girl's like, I want you. And she's like, I'm going to get with Common because he's going to be in John Wick doing this same shtick.
100%.
Also, Common hasn't aged a fucking day.
Yeah, I mean, Black. Can I say black don't crack on here? Because black don't crack.
Can I say?
Do I have to like check with the scientists if they're a little machine? Yeah, it's okay. Well, to get things going, still in the van, they're eavesdropping on these fucking poor old mafiosos or whatever. And I can't fucking believe this is in the movie. But this higher mafia guy, whose voice I remember, like I've heard it somewhere. I guess he's a famous mobster actor. I don't know. Anyways, he basically over the phone tells whomever the entire plot of the movie.
Yep.
Yes.
Beat for beat, doesn't let up. I'm just like, there's no fucking way you're in that business for that long and that comfortable at speaking that clearly about what you're going to do.
Yeah, they're going to kill Israel. There's a Swedish specialist. We got to get to him first. You know, my friend's getting off the boat from Naples, and there's something about a Chinaman. Also, they want his heart. Thanks for that exposition dump.
The way they elaborate the words is what got me. He goes, yeah, I want you to whack him. You mean murder? Yes, murder him.
You want me to kill him?
Yeah, kill him until he dies to death. You got me?
I will definitely kill him. Do you want me to use the drugs? You mean the 2 kilos of cocaine I keep located at 6617 Maple Street?
Yeah, and I will commit another felony too.
And you can take that to the bank. Meanwhile, fucking Ray Liotta and Deadpool are just like, oh, fuck yeah, they're fucking guilty.
Oh, God, they're just about to start breaking fucking arms and running through alleys.
Basically.
But they're talking about who ends up being, I guess, the main character of this movie, Jeremy Piven, who is basically like the Chris Angel of whatever. Like, he's this universe's Chris Angel. He's Las Vegas Entertainer of the Year 5 years in a row. And it turns out he runs like half of the mafia.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? A great joke would have been him actually being Chris Angel. And like, he can't do shit in the movie. Like, he's just the least magical person you'd ever run into.
That's good.
But since he's doing all this shit, you would think that there's more to it than that. But the way they're just exposition dumping how bad of a guy he is, they go, oh, here's Jeremy Piven's character. Let me give you a quick rundown. He started as a magician. Now he dabbles in B&E. Now he wants to take over the cartel. And he's just coked out of his mind sitting in a hotel room as the most inept, pussy-whipped motherfucker you've ever seen in your life. And you're going, there's no way this guy has risen to the top.
And they tell you, straight up, he's a wannabe. As he sits in front of his pile of cash, just like sniffing coke up both nostrils.
Man, again, it's so juvenile. Like when they
Mhm.
dump the money in front of him, he just has the aura of somebody going like, "Wow, money? How did you know that's what I won? This is the best Christmas ever." And then it like hard fucking cuts to him back into his little suite that's trashed, and I can just see like the writer's table, just be like, "Oh man, this guy's coked out. You know what he needs? Fucking bitches. Put them everywhere, dude."
I think this, like, I don't want to talk too much shit on this writer director because I think this movie has a lot of potential, had a lot of potential before it was actually made. But what I want to say is it feels like it was made by the kind of guy who just saw movies like Snatch and Scarface and thought they were just super cool.
It was like, what if we put them together?
Yeah. It does kind of have that quick cut, like so many characters, lots of dialogue, you know, and then a quick action scene kind of thing that Snatch does. But also there's a lot of like hookers and blow.
Okay, if you want to talk about movies thrown together, this is totally Rat Race with Assassin.
Yep.
I don't know anything about Rat Race, actually. Okay, in my head, I'm picturing like maybe a sequel to Stuart Little, so please tell me I'm wrong or right. No?
Right.
Am I close?
Two very different things.
That was funny, though.
Now, the movie to me gets interesting now that we've been shown the FBI. We've been shown basically the heroes, the main bad guys. Now we get the supervillains. And this to me is where it gets fun.
Yeah, and I agree because every character is just what your character would be like if your custom dude showed up in a cutscene. Every single one of them. If you go play WWE 2K and you just make a fucking locker room full of dudes, that's who they are.
Yeah, like we've already touched on a couple of them, like the little assassin couplet between Taraji P. Henson and Alicia Keys. They're like the assassins. One of them's got like a sniper rifle. One of them's trying to, you know, get in to the hotel room because the dude is really into pussy.
There you go. See, that's their name. That's their name. Pussy. And they even say that because it's like, how you getting in? And they go, pussy. And it's like, okay, that's y'all's name from now on. You're just P-U-H and then C.
It's pretty cringe, honestly.
It's totally cringe. Like their whole characterism is just basically just like sassy suburban commandos. Like just let's just flip the script, and you know that's the cleverness, and you're just like, no, it's annoying.
Okay, who else do we have? We've got the one guy that, like, in their introduction to him, they're showing, like, a bunch of people crossing a street or whatever, and you're like, oh, who is it? Which guy are they talking about? This guy, he's a master of disguise. And it's like, it's definitely not this black guy with dreads in a wheelchair crossing the street. It's got to be one of these big, ugly white guys. Oh, no! Let's flip the script. It was the black guy in a wheelchair all along, and he has Uzis and is not actually a black guy anyway.
I was thinking, oh, shoot, Bob Marley took out all those folks, man. He used to be about peace and love. Now he's just got two pieces and no love.
Oh. Well, get that fucking Bob Marley looking motherfucker out of here.
That was Le Chameleon. And then we get the fucking Tremors. And these are my boys. Neo-Nazi fucking wrestlers. All right? That's all they are. They're wearing fucking duct tape and body armor. And they have fucking flares and overpowered shotguns and chainsaws and just stupid shit. And you go, okay.
Just stupid shit,
They're neo-Nazis.
They're basically...
And that's a no, but fuck, they're cool as shit, and I hate it.
They look like neo-Nazis, but they act like war boys.
100%. Witness me fall on this chainsaw.
Yeah, actually, like the chainsaw bit, honestly, a lot of the shit that they do is actually pretty cool, and some of the most entertaining, but definitely not fitting parts of this movie. Like, the tone when they are on screen is just a completely different level.
We'll get to some talk about like card play and magic and stuff, but like these guys are definitely the wild cards.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
Wild card,
like
bitches.
Let's just say, let's not forget though, the final group, Affleck and co.
Ben Affleck is in this movie.
So is this like part of the Askew-universe? You know, just like right on there on the side.
At any second to come kill fucking Buddy Israel, Jay and Silent Bob show up.
Oh shit! It's the Click Commander.
Yep. Captain Cockknocker.
But you guys, I don't actually even know what like Ben Affleck and his crew's thing really is. Like they get blown away
I don't
pretty
know.
quickly. But
yes, that is an amazing scene. As the viewer, you see Ben Affleck and you think this guy is going to be important because duh, it's fucking Ben Affleck. And they've already given him, top billing on the fucking poster. And then you see him setting up, we're going in, we're going to take care of business. And this fucking roadkill looking car from Twisted Metal drives by, blaring death metal, reach the brakes, back up, and then just annihilate them with just full auto drive-by.
And then you just have Chris Pine just basically walking up to the camera and just being like, I subverted your expectations. Forgive me.
Chris Pine is also in this movie. Is he the one that actually ends up getting back up and like out of the?
No, Chris Pine's one of the Nazis.
Yeah. You're right. Never mind.
Now, after they shoot him though, and like you said, Eric, he goes over there. That is still it makes no sense in the movie, but it's fucking great.
No, it doesn't.
Do you forgive me? He goes, oh man, it's just a case of bad play or wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, you're a swell guy. You're a swell guy too, and I can't wait to see you in heaven. And he puts a little smile on his face. Shit is ridiculous.
Yeah, he does a little bit of like talking with Ben Affleck's mouth after he's been blown away, and it's a little weird, especially with that little accent that he's got.
Yes.
He's like George Clooney and Old Brother, Where Art Thou?
Now listen, you say it's a weird accent. He's a weird dude altogether, but listen. This is the best acting in the entire movie. It does not belong in this movie. There is another movie out there where this fucking exists, and it's brilliant. But for some reason, I was totally on board with this.
Let's see.
Yes.
Who else is there that we need to introduce? We briefly mentioned Common. Common is a bodyguard. Does this guy have 3 bodyguards, or do these guys do anything else?
Yeah, he's got 3. He's got Common. He's got the bigger black fella who's just... They just let him improv forever. I don't know why that happened. And they also have like the Russian guy.
Yeah, he's like a Russian like tracksuit wearing.
He's just Adidas, whatever.
Yeah, he's sort of there for comic relief too, because the first time we meet him, he's getting berated by Jeremy Piven for ejaculating on his jacket or something. Like,
it was on the couch, but man, he got bullied. He did not deserve that. Like, he's the kind of guy. He's just like, I'm here because my brother is lost in Chechnya or whatever. I'm just here for the money, and he's just like. And Jeremy Piven's like, you piece of shit, you pre-striped life, bitch.
Oh, God. And he's like, I'm sorry, I have a terrible haircut.
He does have a terrible haircut.
They do get the honor of delivering one of the cooler lines in this movie. And I really feel like this is just so many cool ideas tossed together. They say, somebody called the florist, these flowers have wilted. And he's just looking at all the fucking strung out prostitutes laying all over the room, and the guy's like, yeah, I guess I'll call the florist.
Oh, he was talking about the bitches.
Yes, he totally was. Yeah, but like he holds on the idea for too fucking long. Like he could have had that Florence Boddicker thing where it's like, bitches leave, and I'd been like, fuck yeah, bitches get out of there. But no, he starts like ad-libbing. Like he just will not stop. He just starts berating all the fucking bitches, just making them seem like the worst possible people in the whole hotel.
Not only that, but they hang on it even longer to show as one of the prostitutes try to put on a boot and falls through the glass table, and they're all just like Baruch in the back room. Damn, it's fuck.
The line from this scene that I remember is, I don't even remember who delivers it. I think it might be Common, but he's like, y'all on sundial, y'all need to be on stopwatch, when he's trying to get the bitches to just like get on out of here.
Yeah. Then he goes as far as just like hucking one of the ladies' wigs at him, like, you forgot your hat. And that fucking guy, I'm not gonna lie, that got a good hearty laugh.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of really cool shits jabbed in here, but the whole of it, you go, this is a mess. It just has good little pieces.
Speaking of those pieces, they kind of start coalescing, because once we get that third of the movie over with all these character introductions that take a little too long, basically everybody who's introduced is already at the hotel.
Yep.
Yeah, once one of them finds out, oh, he's at this hotel, Lake Tahoe, everybody suddenly knows, and everyone is swarming to him because there's like, what is it, $1 million on his head?
Yes.
Yeah, $1 million
bounty.
I love how all the assassins, they're ready, they're there, and the last people who fucking find out are the policemen, and they're sitting fucking cold in a car, just driving somewhere. There's like, we're cops, I guess. And they get the call. And both of them whip out their fucking 2002 cell phones. They're like, fuck yeah, we're busy now. Oh shit, now we're doing shit. We're on a job. You know?
We're real life FBI agents. Let's do it.
Beep, bop, boop, boop, boop. Thank you for dialing FBI headquarters. If you have a felony, press 1. You know, it's just like, fucking come on.
Yeah. If you're in pursuit, please hold.
But once we get up to Lake Tahoe, that's where like the rest of the scenes take place. And from here on out, it's just like an afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like it at all. In
No.
fact, I thought this was over the course of a couple days because time management between these scenes is so poor.
Yeah.
It's like a liquid blur. There's no transition. It just literally blurs into another thing because it's always such an abrupt transition into something else.
Yeah.
So after you see Ben Affleck and his characters get killed, one of the guys has been chucked in the fucking water, and he wakes up and escapes back to some lady's house. And this blows my fucking mind every time I see this movie.
Fuck.
Kung Fu Kid is the unsung hero.
I wanted to kill this fucking kid.
I couldn't fucking stand this shit, dude. Like if all the forward momentum that we've achieved as a society for autism is completely blown away because this dumbass in a Karate Kid outfit, karate chopping fingerless man in a bathtub.
Okay.
And
for the viewers at home, this is what this little child looks like. He's probably, gentlemen, 10, 12, something in there.
yeah, that's what I would guess.
Something like that, yeah.
Probably about 5 feet on the dot, black hair, glasses, with an eye patch underneath one eye. He answers the door wearing a karate gi, which he has a gape showing his bare chest, 0 musculature. And there is a bleeding man shivering on his porch. And he goes, "What up, player? Oh, you don't want to talk?" And he holds his open hand up. He goes, "You got to make me ball this." I was fucking dying. I can't lie.
It was a lot. It was a little much for me because I was just watching this. What?
And it just gets worse every time he gets on the screen. It gets worse.
Yes.
And like a little bit later when I don't remember if this is when he's in the bathtub or like laying in the bed or whatever, and he's in there like whipping his nunchucks or whatever. Like I don't know why this is,
because I know exactly what you're going to say. Somebody out there, the writer, thought that this was comedy.
This is like Gummo or something like that.
Dude, this is a college movie through and through, for sure.
This to me was hilarious. The kid is, again, not Luke Wilson, has been thrown into a bathtub of hot water to avert the side effects of hypothermia. While he's laying in the bathtub of warm water, the kid comes in and is like, "I'm gonna fuck you up, fool," and starts punching an inch from his face. He's so into this power that he's exuding over this man that he is getting an erection.
Yep.
And that to me is funny in its own right. But what sells the scene is when the camera pans to not Luke Wilson's face and the fucking unabashed, pure look of horror that is there. Made me so fucking happy.
Do you know why he had that look? Because he had no fucking clue that was coming.
Yes. Like, was it supposed to happen, or did it really just happen?
It just happened on the spot, and they were like, "Fuck it, let's film it."
Like to him in the screenplay, he's like, "Okay," the kid comes in and yells at me some more, and then like 5 minutes later, they throw him in the tub, and the kid's just like with his wiener, and he's just like, "What?"
There is no way someone wrote that down on ink and paper.
Oh man, can I please get like a hard copy of this screenplay? Because I want this fucking hung somewhere. Just in brackets, kid's dong waves like fucking nunchucks at Luke Wilson becoming lukewarm in this tub.
Oh, fuck. Oh, dude. But then he doesn't even stop. The grandma has to take him, headlock him, throw him out of the room. And Luke Wilson ends up getting a gun. And he's like, "I'm going to go get revenge." And that kid is still like, "I'm going to fuck you up, bitch." So good.
Maybe that was like his parents' ID or something. Like, this kid needs to stand out. He's a star. He's a star.
Oh my God, he got a boner. Make it work.
Make it work. Oh, fuck.
And that was Smokin' Aces.
No, we still have
100% Smokin'
we
Aces.
still have characters played by known actors that we haven't introduced yet. You know why? Because I don't know why they're in this movie. Jason Bateman, who are you?
A
Oh
guy.
man, he was Jason Bateman in that hotel with his weird rabbit suit or whatever.
Dude, his underwear, greasy face, added pimples was fucking great because he's still Jason Bateman and he's still just sitting there
Yeah.
ad-libbing this ridiculous rhetoric. So he's selling the scene. He works, just not in this movie because there's no fucking reason for him to be there.
Okay, he is selling this scene maybe, but I don't. Am I buying? I don't know what this is.
I am not buying this at all. In fact, this was the part where the movie got grating because I was just like, please stop him. Please stop him from talking. I get it. He's pathetic. Stop this man. And then that scene goes on for a fucking solid 10 minutes.
Dude,
I was over it.
He definitely didn't have the charm of hard-on Karate Kid, but I thought he had a little something. If they would have cut it sooner, we would have been better off. Now, we are at the hotel. All the people have arrived. Everything is basically popping off. Common has just learned that in order for Jeremy Piven's character, not Joe Rogan in this, we'll call him Magic Joe Rogan, and to get off, he's going to have to give up everyone. When I say everyone, I mean everyone. And Common overhears and is like, yo, dog, I was loyal. Catch me in John Wick 2, blocka blocka. And he gets gambited with a card in the eyeball.
Yeah.
And this is triggering everything because now at this point, the chameleon has entered the room and killed the notorious B.I.G. and Common is letting off his pistol, and they go, oh man, Common must have fired into the room and killed Notorious B.I.G. on accident. Take him away.
Okay. So that's how that scene is supposed to feel. But this fucking thing is chopped up and stretched over the last half of the movie. And that's why I thought this took fucking days. Because Common is in this bathroom with this strung out dude like he's fucking Morpheus trying to get Neo to take the goddamn pill. He's so philosophical for no fucking reason. Like, I understand, like, he feels hurt because he realized this guy is basically going to hand him over as a part of this deal. But the fact that it takes this long and he doesn't get his point across, he gets fucked.
No.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even understand what all of this scene, quote, scene, was supposed to be because Jeremy Piven's just in there, I don't know, crying and also trying to put in like a contact lens, but also just like tough. Being a little bitch. I get maybe. And then Common comes in. Common comes in and starts asking him about like loyalty, and I don't know where this conflict came from.
Well, just like I said earlier, like this whole philosophical thing about him knowing what's next. Unlike earlier when his Russian buddy, his Adidas man, he just wears him the fuck out to the point where it's clear that he thinks nothing of this guy, and he just like slaps a Joker in his face.
Speaking of a Joker card, for Smokin' Aces today, I got an ace myself. This is from Ace Cider from Sebastopol, California. This is their Joker Dry Hard Cider. 6.9% alcohol by volume. I don't drink a lot of cider, so I don't know exactly what to be looking for here. Smells pretty dry. I usually, on cider, usually smell a whole lot of like that apple sweetness, but this is pretty neutral.
I'm a cider fan myself. I enjoy the cider over a beer.
Man, this is really refreshing. I might just be really thirsty, but this is crisp. It's not too sweet, which I'm very appreciative of. That's usually like my big thing about ciders. They're usually just way too sweet, way too acidic, and this is not at all. This is just like Fox News. This is fair and balanced. And man, I just want to keep drinking this.
Sponsor us.
I'll tell you what isn't good. Fucking the aftermath of getting Common kicked out of the bedroom. And now all the assassins think they got to go into overdrive. So we have Ray Liotta playing out his bit in an elevator with Mr. Criminal Killer, the dad from Boondock Saints, and they just shoot the fuck out of each other.
And that little elevator scene is just a classic case of just like this scene's too good for the movie it's in.
Yeah, because you got both of those guys in there, and I don't really even remember where the other guy came from. He's just like another assassin. But he's in disguise as being like a maintenance worker or something for the hotel or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't really think anything much of it at first, and then he starts to see his fingernails and think about what was on like the dossier about this particular assassin. And like at the same time, they're figuring it out. And it's just like, a little 4-foot gunfight.
The notion that you guys have of like having like little bits of genius in this movie, I feel like this is one, because they were just like, hey, what if they just had a showdown in a confined space? But then, but it's so ridiculous, and like the lights even go out, so all you see is like the dramatic muzzle flashes. I'm just like, okay, this is not an art house movie. Please stop.
But is it?
No.
Is it an art house movie? It could be. I have an argument that it could be.
Okay. I'm actually interested in hearing this argument, sir.
So many fucking flash cuts. Not flash cuts, but like so many fucking like scene editing chops. This guy wants to be like Darren Aronofsky. He wants to be, God, who's the guy? He wants to be Guy Ritchie. He wants to be all of this. Like he's trying for all of these things at the same time. And I think that itself makes it art house.
Kind of like a homage to them.
Yeah, he's also,
okay.
I mean, if he's trying to make homage to all these guys, then simply doing that makes him trying to be like Quentin Tarantino too.
I'll give you credit to where like the director man, writer man is trying to be art house, but that's it. He's trying. He did not succeed whatsoever, because this is what happens when your screenplay fucking sucks. This is what happens when you kill somebody with a fucking edit. And that's what happens to that poor fucking sniper girl. You just hear a bang as soon as it cuts to the next bit, and that's it. That's how this movie ties up loose ends. That's how you know whoever wrote this started with an idea and never got past the first draft.
Yeah. Like, the assassin showdowns are cool. You get the, like Eric was talking about, the showdown in the elevator. To me, it was more interesting to see the aftermath when the lights came back on. I would have loved to have seen this scene played out visually with just them very close to one another, just knowing that they're probably both what this is exactly what we saw in Inglourious Bastards in the bar scene.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking it had a little bit of that in there, where like you can tell all at once that like everyone in the house knows that like the jig might be up.
Yes, and then it just turns into bedlam. And had they shown that play out, that would have been a very, very fucking good scene, I think.
Yeah. But unfortunately, like, the movie uses its cringiness as levity, and it just doesn't tie together.
Agreed. Because Ryan Reynolds is supposed to have this big attachment to him, and it goes on to fuel some of his decisions later in the film. But at first, he's like, he's kind of shot up. And Sniper Chick, trying to save Alicia Keys' character, who was just standing there nonchalantly, begins to just unload with a 50 caliber sniper rifle. And she's missing people by like an inch. A 50 caliber round passing close to you, that fucking close, would still just rip your arm off.
Yeah, for sure. They did have a couple moments where like these dudes were like flying by, like, they got hit by a fucking truck, and I was like, okay, that's humorous. I like it. But the thing is, she throws so much lead downrange at these cops and whoever else that are in this like hotel's concourse that it becomes comical.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because you say she's throwing lead, she's literally just pulling the trigger. She is blocks upon blocks away in another hotel building, shooting mass distance, fucking as fast as she can pull the trigger. Even those tiny variations at that range, there's no fucking way she'd be anywhere close to target.
No. And the movie goes on showing how much whoever wrote the scene had no clue how fucking any of this works, because everybody there that's shooting back at her is legitimately just shooting at nothing. They're just shooting at the hole in the wall where the bullets are coming from. Like,
they
really?
Can't come close to even seeing the target from where they are.
No, but think about that too. These are trained police officers discharging their firearm at civilian-occupied buildings.
But like at this point, honestly, I think what the director just wants is like chaos.
I can see that, but my kind of point is with suspension of disbelief, especially in like an exaggerated scene like this, it's fun for a moment, and then you can kind of think about it and go, I don't know. That's a little wacky, especially.
I don't know about that.
No.
Yeah.
I think this kind of thing would really work in a movie like Sin City, to where like it's mostly just like fucking art style than it is substance. So like, a sniper rifle shooting 1,000 rounds into the same hole, in a comic book, whatever.
Sin City is not based in reality, therefore it makes complete sense. Wouldn't question it whatsoever. But when I see people standing in the fucking Doug Dimmadome Ultradome, and they're defying all physics and logic, then I can just go, having a hard time now.
That's not even the part, because I just don't know about 50 caliber rifles and what goes on there. I just don't know. What takes me out of reality is like a little bit like before she reaches the elevator with Ray Liotta and the other guy. She's like trying to find an elevator to get up to the penthouse, and like you just see smoke coming off this elevator, and she's, you can see her face. She's like, what's going on? And the elevator finally opens up, and it's the three Tremor brothers, and they're just like, presenting themselves. They're vibing, man. They're just vibing.
Yeah.
Like they don't even like attempt to like create a threat for her, even though, like, come on, these are just like caricatures. All of them. Yeah. Everybody is a caricature. They each see each other, and Alicia Keys is just like, nah, I'll get the next one.
And they're fine with it. They just kind of be a little grotesque. You have the taller Trimmer brother who's got his pants undone, playing with his dick, not on screen, off screen, little pocket pool. And then classy. You got the far left brother, and you're like, I don't even know what the fuck he's doing. He's unimportant. Then we have Chris Pine, whose whole gimmick at this point in time is he's got his right arm raised. There is a tattoo of a young woman with her legs spread, where his armpit hair is, and he begins to rub what would be her clitoris at Alicia Keys. And you're just like, all right.
I didn't even notice that, but all right.
Yeah.
I just thought of this group as, do you remember that time, that brief period of time in, I want to say, WWF history, in which the Legion of Doom, or whatever they were called, had 3 members?
Oh, when it was draws?
Yeah, something like that. That's what they are.
Okay. It's LOD 2000.
Yeah, maybe mix them up with the Nasty Boys a little bit. Got to grime them up. That's what this group is.
This is definitely the point in time where we see the director in his chair, and he just looks right at the camera. It's like, I bet you did not see that coming.
Oh.
What I didn't see coming
exactly.
What I didn't see coming is once the elevator shuts and they proceed to the next floor, the doors open there and they charge out full battle regalia into live oncoming fire with chainsaws, flares, and machetes. These men then proceed to handily destroy everyone there with melee weapons, and then suddenly a street sweeper shotgun, which is fucking sweet. He starts blowing people away with that. But Common's there, and we can't let Common die.
This is just fucking chaos at this point.
But that's okay. In the hallways, it just turns into Borderlands, and everybody's just having a good old time.
Yes.
That is exactly what the wife said. She said, Borderlands.
That's what they are. And I'm fine with it, honestly, because if they're on the screen, I'm entertained.
100%. Even though Chris Pine gets killed in just a moment, even in his death scene, it's good. He's like, I'm going to get you because you were going to get those people. He goes, man, weren't you going to do the same thing? He's like, yeah. He goes, well, I can't really be friends then, man. I kind of like you. You're all right. He goes, well, I like you too. You want a sip of this ox sphincter? And he goes, yeah, man, I'll take a little drink. And then they part ways and he goes, nah, I'll shoot you. And then he shoots him anyways. And you go, well, what the fuck? What was all that for if you're just going to shoot him?
I think that's the summation for the whole movie, to be honest.
Man, the more I think about it, the more Quentin Tarantino vibes I get from this movie, honestly.
But not
in a good way.
Tarantino
not
movie.
In a good way.
Yeah.
This is a cocaine scribble on a bar napkin, is what this is.
The only difference is there's not a whole lot of feet in this one. Got to up the feet number. Come on, guys.
Well, they couldn't leave that in because then they would know the Tarantino influence. Now, once all this is played out, everyone's getting shot, the good guys are flooding up to the room. finally, Ryan Reynolds is like, oh no. And they're like, hey, you can't kill Jeremy Piven. He goes, why not? Well, turns out we need Jeremy Piven because, oh, look, a dossier and more exposition. Turns out, what a twist. The main bad guy is a cop all along.
Indeed. But it doesn't stop there. What's the other twist that you find out 10 seconds later?
He needs a heart transplant from a viable donor, his son, Joe Rogan.
But we're not done. What's another twist another 10 seconds later?
I'm glad you're asking because I honestly didn't understand all these twists. It's like twistception.
This movie thinks it's smart, and we're just like, nah, this is kind of just fart. Oh, man.
You can't just throw shit on at the end and be like, that's a twist. No, it's not a twist. No. That's just bullshit writing. You just suddenly said it's his son. It had no fucking build. It had no backstory. It had no reason. The only thing they did that for is because now he needs a blood donor because it's his son. Fucking quit it.
But also the like next level twist down is that this Sparazza guy, the old guy who's supposed to be like, calling all the shots, he's not actually him. He's like another guy from 50 years ago that took some other guy's face off again and has been living a life as him for 50, 60, 70 years, however long it is.
Dude playing another dude.
Like somebody took that line from Robert Downey Jr. and made a whole fucking movie about it.
This is exhausting is what this is.
It's annoying. Like, what the fuck? I can't believe like all these great actors were just like, yeah, this is something. Like, did they read it thinking that this was like the next generation of Hollywood? It was like, oh, it's kind of sharp and annoying, but like that's just what all the kids like.
Ryan Reynolds, Ben Affleck, Ray Liotta. We've talked about Taraji P. Henson, Alicia Keys, Common, Jason Bateman. Who am I missing? There are so many names in this. What the fuck happened?
Booger from Revenge of the Nerds. He's just there and a lawyer.
You got the Swede guy from 13th Warrior. You got the dude from Sons of Anarchy. There's everybody on screen is somebody.
Captain Kirk.
Yes.
But this movie wraps up with Ryan Reynolds going, hey man, so you're meaning to tell me and Ray Liotta, the two good guys, he was 2 days from retirement, too old for this shit, and you just let him get wiped up, and now you're going to try to cover it all up? And the guy says, yep. And Ryan Reynolds goes in there completely unguarded. No one removes him from the room, and just unplugs two people's life support system and locks a door.
I couldn't believe that.
Why does that door have a lock?
I don't know. It's just like layers of bullshit in order to get this like last little twist like shoved right at the end, because they're very adamant. They're like, Ryan Reynolds, Mr. Poole, you can't be here. Like, we get it. You figured out the twisty twist, but fuck off. We got business. And the guy's just like, all right, you think about it. I'm going to be at the door waiting on you. I'm just like, what? He's leaving some devices?
You gotta go, but I'm leaving first.
By the way, it's not even you figured it out. It's not even you figured out the twist. It was, I'm going to explain in great detail all three of the twists. And for some reason, we don't think you're going to say anything about it because your career or something. Oh no, it's some weak shit.
Mr. Reynolds, if I don't go through this entire movie in the next 2 minutes, everyone will forget what they just saw 10 minutes from now.
They try to make you feel like his character has somehow evolved enough to be this caring figure who would sacrifice his career, his life, by unplugging these two men to serve justice to a fallen comrade. But they show you from the beginning that he's a virtuous guy, so you're not surprised when he does it.
Yeah, there's no character arc there.
But I think the movie's trying to go with the idea of like the greater good. He is like the almighty good guy, like chaotic good or whatever you want to call it. So like when he pulls the plugs, plural, like that's him. That's him winning, I guess. I'm trying to say like they're trying to play the moral high ground, even though the last hour and a half was total caca.
Okay, what I'm gonna say is like last hour and a half. No, like the beginning of this movie sucked. But we get a spot like from like an hour to like an hour and a half in to where you're like, okay, this is entertaining. It's bullshit, but it's entertaining. And then the last half hour is just like extra.
I'll say this. When you watch this movie, there are lulls where you just will literally go, whoa, 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 whoa. Because nothing is happening of importance. And then suddenly something will be like, hey, this is important. So it jumps out, gets your attention, or it's a funny scene. Out of the 2 hour runtime, this has about 25 minutes of cool shit and a great twist if they would have left it at one. Other than that, you just go, it's a movie, I guess.
I mean, I guess, but to be honest, the only way this movie works for me at all is just basically developing my own headcanon, because this movie feels like it's not real. This movie feels like the movie that's explained in another movie that's about the movie business. Like, this is the shit that they had to make in order to, for that comedy movie to exist or whatever.
I said like a stepping stone.
It's either that or like this movie is all from the perspective of Deadpool, and the joke is this movie is the reason I have cancer.
The most disappointing thing is that there is so much potential in this movie. As a general idea, is a vague idea. I think it's a really cool gimmick. You got a bunch of different assassins coming from all places to get to this one guy. All right, that's cool. There's also like a little bit of headcanon that I've been going on that I think this film would translate a lot better to like a graphic novel. You mentioned Sin City. I think that would be great, with that sort of vibe here. But as a movie, as the movie that I just watched, even with all of those stars, man, this falls real fucking flat.
Well, there you have it. That was Smokin' Aces from 2006. Do you have any strong feelings about the show or the movie itself? Leave it in the comment section below.
Please make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Hit the bell icon too, so you don't miss what we've got brewing up next.
Well, get out there and follow us on social media. Fellas, ladies, whomevers, we're basically on everything now. We're pumping out new shit for you all. It's pretty damn good. I laugh at most of it. So click the link in the description. See where we're at. Come find us. We'll be waiting.
Quit eyeballing me, you pussy ass bitch.
Oh, yes.